You with the boxing guru, aka Wilder Hater. For this episode on Under the Microscope, we're gonna focus in on the big fight that just had the big press conference last Sunday. Errol the True Spence versus Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. This is a major fight that I'm looking forward to. I just booked my flight, booked my hotel, everything done went up. The price done got too high. I guess they getting some of this COVID money back. Man, the flights from Midwest going out to Vegas, $400+. But I had to be there for this fight because this is a historical bout in the welterweight division. A lot of people thinking this the changing of the guards, that this is Earl Spence retirement party for Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. But this could be something different because do Earl Spence has the marketing ability to knock off Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao? I'm looking at it from a business perspective. A business perspective because this is major. Business and money makes the world go round. Yeah, Earl Spence does do good numbers, but does his dollar value amounts to half of what Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao is doing or is or what he can bring to the table? I don't think so. And that's what makes this fight intriguing. Because Keith Thurman couldn't do it. Keith Thurman got his biggest payday to lose to Pacquiao, 10 plus million. Earl Spence gave up his A side, but that could be something to get it back later after the passing of the guard if it goes that way. But in my opinion, as a businessman and with Mayweather involved in the promotion, with Mayweather being involved with PBC, I just see it could go differently. It could go like, okay, we brought Manny Pac-Man over here to get rid of some of these boys, these young lions out the way because we gave them 20 some plus fights to see what their market value can do. Were they going to be the next kings to take over? Or was they going to be the next, not queens, but the next pawns or bishops? You know, sometimes boxing goes like that because it's a dirty, corrupt business where fighters sometimes, have the moment, but if they can't produce the seat revenues, the gate revenues, they might as well lose and get a big payday. Just like I made a video where about Javante Tank Davis fighting a homeboy. Sometimes it's best where you have to just put friendships aside and cash out if that's your biggest payday. Sometimes you have to do that. And then with Earl Spence and Manny Pac-Man, if Earl Spence is not the biggest draw, even though he does good in his home state in Dallas and different cities, but his dollar amount does not compete with Manny. And plus, with Manny and Floyd's second fight, because Floyd said he want a piece of it if he get past Earl Spence. So with they fight, it would generate so much money compared to what Earl Spence can generate. They might as well tell Earl to, I don't know, to lose because it doesn't make sense, to take a fight where you making half of the money. Even if Earl beat Manny Pacquiao, what direction is he going to go in? Okay, if he fights not Bud Crawford, how much money is that going to generate? Bud Crawford can't sell flies to a pile of horse. That's an old saying. Then him and Sean Porter did okay numbers, but do we really brings in a lot of money? Do Earl Spence, do we have a dance partner to bring in that type of revenue? So that's what makes this fight very intriguing from the boxing guru mind state. Big bank takes little bank. Even though Earl Spence bringing in decent bank, but it's not bigger than Manny Pac-Man. So for the love of money and the business side of PBC, it would be best for Earl Spence to get knocked off because they can go back to making better, exciting fights. Then he had to fight Keith Thurman. Then Pac-Man and Floyd can do a major fight again. That will raise the budget for PBC and Floyd it would be crazy because Manny done knocked off all the young lions, so everybody will believe in his credibility again. Not because after that 2015 fight when he had a bum shoulder. So it will sell again. So I'm looking for this fight under a microscope to see how it will play out. But stylistic wise, Manny is 42 years old. I like him if it was a 6-round fight against Errol Spence, but it's a 12-round fight. So that's where, Errol Spence should win this fight because he's longer and taller once he finds Manny Pacquiao rhythm and timing, because Keith Thurman was coming on at the end of the fight. But Errol Spence is a different fighter than Keith Thurman. He don't have the agility that Keith Thurman has when he was able to keep up with Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Errol, once Manny give him a couple feints or a stutter step, Errol gonna have problems starting back up. That's what Errol's problem gonna be. That's why Manny picked this fight. Hear me again. Errol is like an old locomotive. Once you get the engine revved up, it will go. It will go all night. Strong motor, everything. But if you got to keep stopping at lights, getting it back going, that's the problem. And that's going to be the problem for Errol Spence against Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Once Pacquiao stutter step him, get him feints, throw him off his rhythm, I see Manny Pac-Man, landing good punches. This going to be a good fight. I don't think Errol will stop Manny. I think this going to the scorecards because of Manny IQ, his defense now since he done got older, and his reflexes to counterpunch Errol. If Errol tried to bully in like he did Sean Porter, Manny would touch him. Plus, Manny Pac-Man, his foot movement in and out is better than Sean Porter because Sean just bulls in. Manny could punch off his coming in and out. So that's going to play a major part of him lasting the distance at 42 with Errol and making the fight intriguing, because there's going to be moments in the fight where Manny going to be touching Errol up real good. So that's why I'm starting to see that Manny Pac-Man definitely has a huge chance to pull off the upset, not just because of his boxing skills, but what he brings to the table as far as the money value. Because Errol Spence money value is not up to Manny Pac-Man money value. And Manny Pac-Man and Mayweather too will outdo them all together. So that's the fight I'm looking for.
Subscribe to me if you want more of the Boxing Guru Show.
Come get it. 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 Come get it.